Welcome to Pemberley Farm. Well, today is Friday, so it must be canning day. And today we're doing another simple canning recipe, so to speak. We're canning blueberries. Now these are last year's blueberries and they're frozen. And so we've got our syrup, a light syrup that we've already made. As a matter of fact, it wasn't that long ago that we did the pineapple. We canned the pineapple and we made too much of the light syrup, and so I just put it in jars and put it in the refrigerator. So we're using the rest of that this morning. So if you make too much syrup and you know you're going to be canning fruit again soon, don't throw it away. Put it in a jar and put it in the refrigerator. So, because all it is sugar and water. All right, so that's what we're doing this morning. And before I go any further, I'd like to say, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so, and like and share because it helps our channel to grow. Also, please check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are Pemberley Farm Homestead. So after you watch the video, go check us out. We do lots of homestead how-to classes here on our farm live, and so even if you are local, then you can come see us here at the farm. If you check on our Facebook page, when we are going to have a class, we put that up several times before the actual class. So you can check out our Facebook page if you're fairly local to us. We've had people come from over an hour away many times. So anyway, so let's get on though with our canning our blueberries. So that's what we're going to do. And you say, why would you put them in the little tiny half-pint jars? Well, we've been making a lot of yogurt because, you know, our cow is in milk and we have a glut of milk, and so we are doing this because if this is a handy size for maybe a couple of mornings or even just one morning depending, to mix some blueberries in with your yogurt or put it in with your cereal and yogurt. I eat granola and a yogurt, and so this is a good thing to add to my granola and yogurt, and so that's why we're putting it in small little jars, and that way a half full pint jar doesn't get pushed to the back and forgotten until it's too late. So anyway, that's what we're doing with that in mind. So you can do, if you want to do a whole pint, if you wanted to do a quart, that's fine. We're just doing this for a specific reason. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all this hot. If these were fresh blueberries, I would just put them in the jar and then put the hot liquid over them. But because they're frozen, I'm going to put them in my syrup and let it all heat up, and then we're going to put it in our jars. We will put our rings and seals on them, and then we will water bath can them. So all right, so our blueberries and our syrup have gotten very hot here. Our canner is almost to the point of boiling. We've got our lids in hot water over here. They're not boiling, they're just hot. And so what I'm going to do, this is a slotted spoon, and I'm gonna fill these jars. And by the way, these are our blueberries. We have two different blueberry patches, one that's quite old and then one that is just a few years old, and so they're just still young, real young trees, and the young ones are just absolutely loaded this year. So that's what we're doing, and it's going to be simple. Let me go back and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get the syrup and put it to fill the jar up to about a 1/4 inch headspace. Okay, trying to keep from staining my countertop. Okay, and I'm gonna debubble, and because it could use a little more syrup, I'm just gonna come in here and just get a little more syrup, top it off, and I'm gonna take a paper towel and I'm gonna wipe the rim. I'm going to get my hot lid, finger tight and put it over here. Now let me show you this. I don't know if I've shown this before because I really dislike these newer racks that goes in the water bath canners, because you can't do these jars in there because they fall through. And so my husband put this kind of like a hardware cloth on the bottom of it so that we could easily put these jars in there. So another thing I do is if I want to do more than what this rack holds, and it holds 7, and I may have to do that today, is get the what goes in the bottom of the pressure canner, and that way I can put the jars all around. I can fill up the bottom of it. So anyway, just some little tips and tricks that I have done over the years. All right, we've got 7 jars, and that turned out just perfect for this little canner. And the big canner like this holds 9 jars, but this one holds 7, so that worked out just fine. And so I usually just sit it on the top like this, even though the jars are hot. This water was boiling already, and so I just kind of let them sit there a minute, and I ease them down into the water. Now, Ashley, you want to come over and let's look in the. They're not quite covered, but that's why we always have our little electric tea kettle and let its water come to a boil so that we can add to this. And so now that's perfect. So there you go. So now this is going to come back to a full rolling boil, and when it does, we're going to put the lid on it, and when it comes back to a boil, then we're going to start the timer and we will process them for 15 minutes. Okay, I've taken the lid off our canner, and it's just sitting there for a few minutes before we pull them up. And before I did that, I wanted to tell you about a canning book that if you don't have, and if you only can have one, this is the one for you to have. It's the Complete Guide to Home Canning, USDA, and it has, you know, the fruits and vegetables, it has meat, it has different recipes, it has all you need to know as far as canning different things. It will tell you what pressure you need to put it at. If it's a pressure can thing, it tells you how many minutes, it tells you hot pack or cold pack, it tells you all those things. And it's not a very expensive book. Most canning books are more expensive. This one, I think the last time I looked, was around $10. You know, things have changed lately, but anyway, it's not very much. And so if you don't have a canning book and you can only get one, let it be this one. All right, so now we're going to, the lid's been off of it, I think, long enough, and we're going to pull these out and set them over on the counter. So it looks like we have some siphoning on this one. I may have filled it a little too full. That happens from time to time.
This is because of the juice on the towel.
Yes.
That's why she says that.
Yeah. So that's okay. It's all right. And I may have not left it sitting there long enough trying to get done, because we're always busy here. We have to go on to the next thing. So anyway, we're going to leave that to cool. I'm probably going to take it out of the rack and just set it over on the towel. And then when it's cooled in about 18 to 24 hours, I'll wash the jars, take the rings off, and then put them where I store my home can stuff. All right. Thank you for joining us today for this video on canning blueberries. Our blueberries are not ripe yet. It's a little early for us here in Northwest Florida, but my bushes are loaded. And if we can remember, we'll put some photos of our green blueberries that are loaded right now. So it'll be a little while before we have fresh ones. But in the meantime, we did have these in the freezer, and we want to use them in some of our yogurt, and so that's why we did that today. So you can do whatever, even if it's, whether it's fresh or frozen. You can like this, or you can also make blueberry pie filling. That may be one of our videos when we have fresh blueberries. All right. Thank you again. Please, again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are Pemberley Farm Homestead. God bless you from Pemberley Farm.